There are certain people whose vibration, whose energy, whose magneticism is like food to energy vampires and energy leeches. And when these energy leeches or energy vampires latch onto a person, they will essentially siphon their energy just by being within that person's proximity. And this process goes by many different names. Some people call it vampirism, some people call it soul swapping. It is also known as energy harvesting. Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimi, your sage, your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today we are talking about energy transference, also known as soul swapping, a process where one person will pull and consume and take on the energy of another person. And because magic is really an everyday thing, magic is in everything. And so this is not only done through spell work and actually lighting candles and things like that. It can also be done in simple ways, like through having a conversation with someone, having dinner with someone, sleeping with someone. If you enjoy learning more about the mystery of magic and the spirit world, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and also to like this video so that you can keep up with the mystical and powerful conversations that we have here on this channel. And so there are some people who are more vulnerable to being targets of soul swapping or energy transference than other people. And these are going to be your people who are very magnetic, those people who have high charisma, who have magnetic personalities, who are considered very beautiful either physically or energetically. The type of people who, when they come into a room, they gather all the attention in the room. Those are the types of people whose energy is going to be vibrating so brightly and so highly that people with lower energies or people who are not doing the spiritual work that it takes to raise their own vibrations will be drawn to that person to basically get like a quick energetic fix that will feed them the energy that they want to see within themselves but are not doing the work. So there are basically people who are more prone to being victims of this type of magic. And then there are people who are more likely to be energy vampires and energy harvesters. And these are going to be the people that I mentioned who are not doing the spiritual work, who still nevertheless want the benefits of having a high vibration. Those are going to be the people who are more likely to energy harvest off of other people's energy and to try to do things like destiny swapping and soul swapping. The thing with energy vampires is that they are also kind of shapeshifters because they are so often stealing other people's energy and taking on other people's identities and destinies. These people are skin walkers. These are people who take on other people's skin, take on other people's identity, and take on other people's energy and essentially cloak themselves. So now let's get into the mystery behind the magic of how soul swapping or energy harvesting actually works. So essentially what a skinwalker or an energy vampire will do is choose a person whose energy they can wear like a cloak, or whose energy that they can literally consume or feed off of. And this is not like physical food. This is more like a food for their aura and their energy. So the skinwalker or the energy vampire will essentially place a hook into the aura of the light person. Like for instance, like putting a charger in an outlet, they will place a hook into the aura or the energy of another person, and it will essentially pull from them like a power source. And so when I am talking about them consuming energy, I am talking about their auras essentially consuming the energy of another person. And so that light energy will go to the energy of the person with a darker energy and basically bring them the light that they need. Kicker is that since they are stealing the light aura of another being, they are essentially stealing the blessings designed and assigned to that being as well. And so the reason why energy vampires do what they do is so that they can receive blessings. And so this process of soul swapping or energy transference is essentially a component of the larger magic of destiny swapping. So destiny swapping can be done in big and small ways, the same way that energy harvesting and energy transference can be done in big and small ways. And so let's talk about some of the everyday ways that this energy swapping process is done. So one of the primary ways that energy swapping or energy harvesting takes place is within unreciprocal or unequally yoked relationships. So when two people come together and they are not on the same energetic frequency, this is going to lead to energetic imbalances. where very usually the case is that the person with the higher vibration is going to feel a reduction in their energy, a reduction in their vibration. So it's the same way that if someone who is very, very intelligent is in a conversation with people who are not quite as intelligent, they have to sort of dumb themselves down just to have a conversation with that person. That is how it is in situations and relationships where there is an energetic imbalance. The higher energy is necessarily going to be pulled on or siphoned by the lower energy. Working a job that is not at the frequency that you are. Every day that you walk in that place, you will notice bits and bits of your energy, your passion, your interests, your talents sort of leaving your body, because the very vibration of your workplace is actually sucking your energy and sucking your authentic power. Another very common way that this is done is through sex. Sex in itself is an energetic exchange. And when sex is performed between two people who are equally yoked and who are both healed and high vibrational, the energy that is exchanged is going to be positive. It is going to be life-giving. But when sexual intercourse occurs between two people who are not equally yoked, where one of them is on a higher vibrational scale and energy than the other, the person who has the higher vibration is essentially going to feel a heavy reduction in their own light energy. And this is why sex is one of the most common and powerful modes of destiny swapping and energetic transference. It is the very definition of soul swapping, and it is the very definition of skin walking when you really think about it, because there are very few other times where you will literally be within the body and that close within the energy and auric field of another person. So please be very, very careful who you allow into your body and into your bed. And one of the last ways that I want to talk about how soul swapping or energy harvesting is performed is through friendships, relationships, or any type of partnership where one person within the dynamic does not feel free to be fully themselves. Pay very close attention to your friends and your partners, because if you are in friendships or partnerships where that person will take your ideas as their own, will begin to dress like you or speak like you, that is a very, very prime example of soul swapping and of skin walking. Because essentially the idea behind soul swapping and skin walking is that that person wants to wear you, they want to be you, they want to consume you. So if you notice that once you got into a friendship or a partnership with a person and they began to take on your personality traits. For instance, I had a friend where if I told them that I wanted a specific hairstyle or I wanted a specific piercing, they would go out and get it before me. That is a prime example of soul swapping and energy harvesting, where someone is striving very hard to be you, to take on your characteristics, to take on your personality. And these are the very same types of people who will not compliment you. If you are in relationships and situations where there is an unequal dynamic in terms of praise and support, that is also an example of energy harvesting, where you will compliment them. You will tell them they look nice, but they will not do the same to you. Then that is an example of energy harvesting, because the energy is unreciprocal or unequally yoked. There has to be balance in partnerships. There has to be an equal amount of give and take. And so if you are always giving the love, you're always giving the grace, you're always giving the forgiveness, you're always giving the compliments, and it is not being returned to you, then essentially you are giving out all of the energy in your energy bank, and the people who are receiving the compliments and the forgiveness and the love is consuming that energy and running with it. And they are creating whole projects and businesses and new personas off of your energy. So the best way to protect yourself in situations like this is to know your worth, know who you are, so that you will be able to know when someone is pulling on your energy, when someone is draining you. It will also help you to not pour from an empty cup, because energy vampires can sense people who are people pleasers. Narcissists and energy vampires cannot stand people who are confident in themselves and who have a strong sense of healthy boundaries. I hope this conversation was helpful. Please let me know in the comments any other conversations you would like to see discussed here, and I will talk to you all in the next episode. May peace and blessings be forever upon you. Selah.